Welcome back to another edition of Sunday Q&As, but this edition I am finally at 100,000 subscribers. So that's a pretty good milestone for YouTubers. So I guess I could consider myself a YouTuber because I'm at 100,000 subscribers. I'll have the little YouTube plaque. I'm not exactly sure if they updated it or not. I guess we'll have to see once it comes. I guess usually it takes 6 months or so for it to come, but I'm really happy. Thanks for everybody that has subscribed to the channel. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that watches my videos, and as always, this is a Sunday Q&A. If you are new to the channel, or if you're watching this after it has played, I'm going to start saying this at the beginning of each one. This is a Sunday Q&A, so I just talk to my subscribers and just answer some of their questions they have about the videos, about stuff that's going on, etc. So I just wanted to put that out there. But everybody that has subscribed, thank you a lot. Anybody that's watching the Sunday Q&A, thank you as well. So let's see what we're talking. It's Memorial Day, or Memorial Weekend. Tomorrow is Memorial Day. I think it's Monday tomorrow. And yeah, I mean, gonna have to do a little something fun. I mean, I was supposed to pick a car up from the auction tomorrow, but I'm not sure if they're open, so I'll probably just do it Tuesday. I got a beater car, kind of a beater car. It's kind of a surprise, and we'll see. I'm planning to do something with it that it'll just be kind of cool. So let's see what you guys are saying, and let's see. Congrats, Dave. Hell yeah. Hey Dave, how's the day so far? So the day is going good. I just finished designing the FD turbo manifold. I was trying to figure out where I wanted to actually put the wastegates. It took a lot of trial and error, just because I wanted to mount them a certain way, but then they were interfering with the firewall, and then they're interfering with the strut tower, and I just had to test it a million times, it seemed like. But yeah, now that is finally done, so I should just be able to go and weld it and then have it ceramic coated, and then the exhaust manifold will be done. And the only real thing that I'm concerned about is how it does on the dyno. That is the biggest thing. I didn't design the whole thing in SolidWorks. I could have, and I probably should have, and then I could have floated and seen how the wastegates, but I didn't know exactly where I was going to stick the wastegates, and if I would have done that, I would have had them in the incorrect spot. But yeah, that's done. Now I'm just gonna kind of hang out for the rest of the day. I was gonna work on the charger, but I'm probably just gonna, if I can't go pick up the car tomorrow, I'm gonna work on the charger tomorrow. But if I can pick it up, I will pick it up, because the sooner I pick it up, the sooner I could see what I have gotten myself into. So we'll just kind of go from there. Let's see. Damn, 100K. Congrats. Thanks. Haha, it's Monday for me. Man. Congrats, you deserve it, my guy. Thanks. What are your thoughts now that you got 100K? I mean, literally, if I could do something where I could just, how Cletus is. I mean, he makes so much money off YouTube. He could just do such insane stuff with cars. And just in general, I kind of want to get to that point so I can do the same exact thing. And then the builds just get so much better from it, because you don't really have to worry about your money going into it. I mean, it is your money, but at the same time, that's kind of what your that car keeps driving by. That's like the 4th time it's driven by. But you just kind of could do pretty much whatever you want to cars, and that's really what I want to get to. I would just want to do something that's a lot of fun, and 100K is the beginning. I mean, I'm really excited that I got there. I mean, I've worked really hard, long time to get there, and now that I'm finally there, it's just surreal. So I mean, it's just a milestone, let's just put it that way. The next one is actually at, I think, 500,000 subscribers, and then you get like a bronze plaque or something. I think it's kind of like the Olympics. I'm not exactly sure, but I guess we'll see. Hey Dave, any advice on building a 93 Mazda MX-6? I've never really messed with them. I mean, I have I've seen them, but I've never, you know, actually done anything with them. I've never actually touched one. I don't even think I've ridden in one. So greetings from the Netherlands. What's up? Hold on. We are gonna be in Loveland this evening. Sure wish you could take my wife for a spin in her dream car. Christopher, where are you coming from? I mean, Loveland is 2 or 3 hour drive from here. So, where are you guys from? And what's their dream car? That's the question. Let's see. Love the Magnum build. If I'm going to put a 6.1 in my Magnum, can I use all my 5.7 equipment to do? I need 6.1 exhaust manifolds. I've never done a 6.1. I'm thinking that they're very, very similar. Even I think the exhausts are very similar as well. So you could just use I think the exhaust manifolds may even be similar as well. So you may just check into it and just compare them. But the Trackhawk and the SRT manifolds, they were exactly the same. So the 6.1 or the 6.2 and the 6.4 manifolds exactly the same. So I'm guessing there's probably some similarities between them, and you probably could use them just depending on the head castings. And I don't think they really changed much from the 6.1 to the 5.7. I'm not exactly sure, but I think they just started changing stuff with intake ports and exhaust ports when they got into 6.2 and the 6.4s. Someone donated $1. Where is that at? Let's see. What brand of winter beater is the car you're picking up? So it's not really a winter beater. So I had an idea. My dad has a very big backyard, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say, because my mom started watching my YouTube channel. So it is a Subaru, and if you guys, you know, Subarus in Raleigh, and you know what kind of Subaru I got, and I got it for $600, which is tight. So hopefully it runs. That's the one thing I'm worried about. I'm thinking it was so cheap, it might have a blown head gasket, but I might have gotten lucky. So I guess we'll just have to see when I pick it up. Congrats on the 100K. Been here since Road Bash days. I know I kind of miss the Road Bash days. I mean, that name was kind of out there. I mean, I like the Junkyard Dave. I think that was a lot better, and it kind of just makes a lot of sense with what I do and what I've always done. So it just makes sense. But I appreciate the old OG subscribers. I mean, that's a long time. Road Bash. It's 5:28 a.m. here in Australia. Man. Let's see. Howdy, what's going on? Hello from Jamaica. What's up, Andrew? Hey Dave, how's it going today? It's just kind of chill day. Okay, could you lay out what your plan is with the Hellcat Magnum? What's the purpose of the 300C roof and doors? How are you thinking about doing the hatch? Is your plan to make it look OEM? So yes, the plan is to make it look OEM, because it I don't know, I just don't want it to look, that's why I didn't want to go with an aftermarket wide body kit. And other than them being very flimsy and fiberglass, and you know, over time fiberglass kind of gets wavy, I just really wanted it to look OEM. The same thing goes with the hatch. I'm pretty much just going to graft the Charger trunk into the Magnum hatch and just overlap the metal, spot weld it, and I think it will look completely factory, other than, you know, it not being, you know, an old body style Magnum. But the roof, the 300C roof, the purpose of that, I did explain in a video, but the metal actually doesn't line up, and to make it pretty comparable to the Charger door frame, I needed the 300C door frame to do that, because the Magnum wouldn't have even come close. So That's really the only reason I did it. I could have used the Magnum and just kind of blended it together, but I just feel like it'll look more factory and OE with the updated door frames, because you could really tell the difference when the doors open. So other than that, that's really the only reason I got it. And yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of OCD sometimes with stuff like that. Let's see. Hi from Berlin, Germany. Congrats on the 100K subs. Thanks. Dave bought an exotic. No, I don't know. I really don't know if I'd ever really want to buy an exotic like a Lamborghini or something like that. It's just, I have so much more fun in cheap stuff. Like a $600 WRX will probably be the best fun I've ever had. And I mean, the FC is really good fun. Really cheap cars, you don't have to worry about them, especially like cars you don't plan on making super nice, or you know, that are super valuable. I mean, they made a million WRXs, so I'm not really going to be worried about it. The good thing is, well, the good and the bad thing is it looks like it has some upgrades on it, but that's also a bad thing with WRXs because usually they blow up. So hopefully in the picture it says it runs and drives, and it was actually idling in the picture, so hopefully we got a good deal. Congrats from the Netherlands. Thanks. What are your plans for the SR20 VVL engine? So the SR20 VVL is actually complete. It's ready to drop in a car, but my blue 240 coupe that I've had since high school, it just needs to be fixed. So I really haven't been able to find a good wrecked car that has the front end parts that I need, because I don't want to cut a good 240 up for the parts, but most of the 240s are wrecked in the front. So hopefully I can find one. I pretty much need to do what I did with the Hellcat, where, you know, I took it all the way down to the front firewall. But in my 240s case, I may have to section in the firewall. I'm not exactly sure. It's going to be a very big undertaking, but when it's all said and done, I just want it to be a clean 240. I mean, there isn't very many of them out there, and if it makes, you know, reliably on that VVL, it should make 500 horsepower. That'll be a great, you know, all-around car. Won't have to worry about it. It'll be reliable, etc. So that's kind of what I like out of my builds. I want my stuff to be, you know, I like my stuff to be reliable. Obviously the Charger is going to be kind of crazy, but I still want it to be reliable, so I don't have to worry about, you know, I don't want to have to pull a million engines out of my car, or, you know, have to just constantly fix stuff that, you know, I just cut corners to do and get it done quick. So that's kind of what I like to present in my channel, and I think that's why a lot of people watch my channel. The same thing goes with the FD, the new turbo manifold. It took me the better part of, I'd say, 6 to 7 months to get everything ready to actually make the manifold. So I had to design the flanges, I had to get all the materials, had to figure out exactly how I wanted it to work and how I wanted it to flow and how I wanted it to actually look in the car. It's just, you know, how I am. So that goes with pretty much any project that I do, and I hope that you guys appreciate, and the people that watch my channel appreciate the, you know, the craftsmanship that I bring to my channel and to you guys. Let's see. Hey man, congrats from Costa Rica. You rock. Thanks, Jonathan. James donated $1. Hell yeah, man. Thanks. We are coming from Tennessee. What is going on? You're coming from Tennessee, or you're already here? I mean, that's, if you're already here, I mean, that would be kind of a jaunt, because it takes like 3 hours. I mean, if you're coming from Tennessee, you would come through. It depends on which way you go, I guess. The quickest way from Tennessee is actually to come through almost Pueblo up, because you come through Kansas, and then you could go the back way, which usually there isn't a lot of cops, so you can do around like 120, 150 the whole way. And yeah, but depends. If you went up through Nebraska, then you went the long way. So Bet you it's a Hellcat. I mean, the Hellcat is a pretty fun car. I mean, I enjoy driving the Hellcat around. It's just so much fun. It's comfortable. It's like it has heated and cooled seats. The AC works in it. I mean, it's fast. I can have the AC on and, you know, break people off. It's just fun. I like your custom parts design. That's kind of unique on your channel. Hopefully you can make more in the future and include it in all your cars. So yeah, I do have, you guys would probably be pretty intrigued with how much stuff I actually have designed for my project. So the 240Z, other than the chassis, I have the whole suspension designed, which I haven't actually produced any of the parts yet, but all the front and rear subframes, you know, I'm going to make it all-wheel drive. It's going to be, you know, all billet subframes and pretty crazy. The RB30 block that I have designed, it's going to be pretty crazy. It's going to be billet as well. But that's, you know, that's where kind of YouTube comes in and why I started doing it. Because if I could do all this crazy stuff and show it to my subscribers and stuff, it just kind of cool, because it's something that really you can't do. I mean, I could do it, but it would just take me a lot longer. It'd take like my whole life to be able to do stuff like Cletus. I mean, you literally would have to work a job like so I could get another engineering job, but I have to work it, maybe make, you know, 100 to 150,000 a year, which at the end of the day, then you're working the whole time. I can't design parts. I can't work on my cars all the time. I have to focus on my real job. But when you do YouTube, it's just kind of nice because I can focus on making stuff kind of like if I was my own F1 team and I just kind of wanted to go crazy with everything that I built on just normal cars, which you really can't do with like a normal job budget. I mean, it just takes a long time. So I really think that, you know, once I get more subscribers and I actually start making money off of YouTube, I will be able to do some crazy stuff. I mean, right now the Charger is probably going to be the craziest thing I've really ever built. I want to make it 1,000 to like 1,400 horsepower, all-wheel drive. I mean, I think it's going to be really insane, but eventually I want to do some really crazy stuff with it. But like I said, that's where the whole YouTube thing comes into it. So I appreciate, you know, everybody sharing my videos and watching them and stuff like that. It really helps out. So now it's time to do burnouts and all the project cars. Burnouts 2020. The Hellcat is our dream car. We should be near Denver in about 2 hours. Nice. Next time, just message me on Instagram. Let's see. Next time you get an MX-6 in your yard, pull the engine and drop it in an MX-3. You'll love it. James donated $1. Thanks, James. Congrats, Dave. Thanks. Want a Hellcat motor in my Durango. I really like the look of the Durangos over the Trackhawks. I just feel like the Grand Cherokee is like too short. I feel like if the engine, if there's a Trackhawk Durango, the longer wheelbase, it looks longer. I'm not sure if it is, but the longer wheelbase, I feel like it would be a little bit more stable. Maybe they wouldn't wreck them as much, but I don't know. Congratulations, man. I could almost swear that you were at 87K like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, I think I've gained like quite a few subscribers off of my my recent Hellcat video, and you know, just some of the stuff I've been doing recently with the Charger. I think a lot of people are really pumped about it. I'm pumped about it. And with the Charger, I actually got word from the dealership that all the parts are there except for one inner structure. So, and the bad thing about that is the piece of inner structure is quite big. It's the whole side of a Charger, but it won't be here till the end of next month. So if any of my subscribers works for Dodge in like corporate, It'd be really nice if they could expedite that. Just need one piece is all I need, and then we can get to the wide body stuff and get that thing in primer. If the Subaru is a sedan of some type, grab a set of Forester suspension of the same year, bolt straight, and lifts it about 2 inches. Ooh, that's a good tip. I thought your name was Junkyard Dave because you own a junkyard. Also, hello from Beirut. Is that how you say that? So technically, I do not own a junkyard, but I have been talking with my old boss, and he has been. He told me he was going to give me a price. I may be purchasing a junkyard. I'm not exactly sure yet. It's just up in the air. Like I said I think I said in my last live stream, I'm just waiting to see how much he wants for it. I'm really interested in it if the price isn't too out there, because I mean, you know, I could get a loan on it, but I just don't want to get into something that's way over my head, because at the end of the day, I'm most likely not gonna have time to run a junkyard and do YouTube. So I'd have to hire somebody to actually, you know, do the day-to-day and all that stuff. So how long have you been doing YouTube videos? I have been pretty much doing videos for the better part of, I would have to say, at least 7 to 8 years. So I mean, it's not something that comes quick. It takes a very long time to get subscribers. It takes a very long time to actually get videos where you're getting over 100 views on videos. I mean, it takes a very long time. Even if you do super clickbaity stuff, it takes a very, very long time. So that being said, if you're getting into it, it's going to take you quite some time. It may take you, you know, a couple of years. It might take you 8 years, but don't get discouraged. I mean, it's just something you have to work at, and the more consistent you are with it, the better the results are. So and the crazier things you do. I would not recommend doing automotive stuff because it's really saturated, and there isn't very many people that watch automotive stuff compared to all the other stuff that's on YouTube, like engineering, you know, the RV stuff and traveling. I mean, there's more people interested in that, and you can get more subscribers quicker with that demographic than car stuff. Car stuff's kind of like a small thing, and it's very hard to actually gain subscribers on car channels, which is kind of strange. You'd think it would be the opposite. Congrats on 100K. You've earned it. Best on YouTube, in my opinion. Thanks. It's a squirrel. Look at this squirrel. Here, let me flip this. Look at this squirrel. Running around. He's checking me out. Okay, what's the plan for the Magnum engine 6.4 supercharged or 6.4 turbo? I'd most likely do a turbo on it. So they do make a kit where it's drop-in turbo pistons and rods, and it comes with, you know, new head gasket. It comes with ARP head studs. I think it comes with everything you need, and then you just do your own turbo kit. I think the kit for the engine is like $3,800 to make it so it'll handle, you know, turbo pistons, rods, and gasket kit. But then with a turbo kit, I mean, it'd probably be around seven-ish grand. And right now I really want to get the charger done. So the Magnum runs and drives perfectly as it is. So maybe later down the road I'll do something with it turbo wise. But right now I really want to, unless I sell it, but I really want to complete the charger, get it 100% done, 100% running and driving, figure out what I'm going to do about the turbo kit on it, and what I'm going to do about the all-wheel drive system. I mean, I have a lot of stuff I have to figure out, and I have to most likely make some subframes for it, especially the front subframe to get the diff and everything mounted, but I want to get all that stuff done first. So the other Magnum will, you know, have something done to it later on down the road, but I really want to get the charger finished up. Hi from Cape Town. Congrats, Dave. 100,000. You deserve it. Worked hard for it. Thanks. Cape Town Man 305. Dave, this time next year you will be a millionaire. I don't know about that. I mean, I spend so much money on pretty much any money that I make on YouTube, it goes directly back into the project and or projects, which it isn't very much because I'm definitely spending. So all the charger body parts that I ordered. Let me take a drink. All the charger body parts that I ordered to get the charger 100% complete before, you know, even doing body work, it was around $8,000. So that was a quarter panels, front and rear bumper, fenders, hood, doors, all that stuff, like $8 grand just for that stuff. And I think I made maybe $800 on YouTube. So yeah, it's I mean, it's something towards it, but it's definitely not even close to breaking even. So you know, it does help the more people that watch, and you know, the longer it goes on, the, you know, hopefully the better it gets, and then I could put more into the projects. I really want to just do some insane stuff, which you know, not cheap insane stuff. I really don't want to, you know, get to the point where I'm making, you know, I know YouTubers that make like 70 grand a month, and they're literally, you know, let's put eBay turbos on our Honda Civics. So, you know, I want to do stuff where I'm making, if I can make even half of that, or even make a quarter of that or something like that. I mean, I could do so much cool stuff and do it with actually putting the effort into the cars and the builds and making them reliable and actually, you know, making them presentable and stuff like that. So just something that's all around is what I kind of hope for one day. Thoughts on the Pantera? Pretty cool car. So actually, if I ever did make a bunch of money on YouTube, I probably would just buy a Pantera and put a Hellcat engine in it, and I think it'd be the coolest thing ever. So if anybody has a cheap Pantera, that's a hint. But yeah, I have a long way to go. So one day we'll do the Hellcat swapped Pantera. But now that I said it, somebody else is going to do it. So my FC started cheap, looking at being around 12K by the time it's running. Yeah, I mean, project cars, they are not cheap. You think that I'm just going to put a bigger turbo on something like the FG. I mean, I may end up breaking even on all the stuff that I bought because I'm going to make 8 more turbo manifolds for it, so I could sell those 8 manifolds. But at the end of the day, even making, you know, a couple $100 on each manifold with all the parts and, you know, the labor and all that stuff, I'll probably just break even. So my manifold that's on my car was free, and you know, then, you know, 8 more people will have a cool manifold. But that's pretty much what I really like, is kind of building my cars and not really having too much crazy money in them. And that's how I've always built my cars. I've always been pretty towards kind of buying stuff, and either, you know, I'll design something, or I'll make a batch of 10 and I'll use one, and then I'll sell the other 9 and then break even and maybe make like $100 or something like that. But not really have you know, a bunch of money. If I bought a turbo manifold for a company like the one I made, you know, I'd have, you know, $1,200-1,500 in a manifold at the end of the day, and that doesn't include wastegates, stuff like that. So I guess we'll see. Let's see. Good afternoon, Brazil. Enjoying your great job channel. Cool, thanks. Let's see. Hold up my window. Those people are kind of looking at me kind of weird. Hey, are any questions good questions? Sure. I mean, any questions you want to ask. That's what Sunday Q&A is for. So with the Hellcat Magnum, are you trying to mock the design of what a Dodge Caliper looks like, except with wide body? No, so pretty much with the Charger Magnum Hellcat that I'm building, I'm trying to make it look sort of, you know, like a Magnum, but a Charger. I mean, I've had a vision. I've seen quite a few mashups of them, which at the end of the day, it just, you know, it's going to be its own car. I mean, it's not going to really look like anything has before. I mean, it'll look kind of like a Charger, it'll look kind of like a Magnum, but I want it to look as OE as possible. So forgot to hit the thumbs up button. Are you aware of any 68 Chargers for sale? Not that I know of. I've seen a few of them here and there on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, but most of the time they're really rusty. And to me, I don't want to have to order a whole car in body panels from year one and just use a VIN. So, and I know that is a thing. I've seen a lot of people do it, even hot rod channels do it. So it's, I don't know, it's just one of those things. Got to see about a bad wheel bearing. Your attention to detail is awesome. Love watching your videos. Thanks, I appreciate it, Richard. Congrats on your YouTube. Love watching for how you take the time to figure things out. I like watching a madman take over the world. Hey, I have a question. Will you answer it? Yes. Hey Dave, hello from Malaysia and congrats on your 100K subscribers. You deserve it. Thanks. Somebody put a YouTube button. Thanks. What's your thoughts on the guy claiming he built the first 2021 Magnum? He just tacked the roof on and tried to steal your limelight. So I have been talking about doing the Charger Magnum since when I started my first Magnum, which was quite a while. And that whole video, the guy just kind of was a dick, which, you know, it just seemed like in his video he was a dick. So a lot of people that have watched my channel have messaged me on Instagram and were like, what's up with this guy? He's kind of throwing shade at you. Not the guy that's building the car, the guy that has that YouTube channel, the YouTube on a budget guy, which he was trying to say some stuff in his video, but not say, you know, the name of my channel. But at the end of the day, everybody that watches my channel knows that I mean, this guy could have been working on the car for quite some time, but at the end of the day, it looks like they literally just chopped the roof off a Magnum without doing any of the inner structure, and then just welded the outside skin, which is very sketchy at the end of the day. If that car ever gets in an accident, it's pretty much going to kill whoever's in it. So not throwing any shade to the guy, but at the end of the day, the guy pretty much copied the title of my video just so he could get views, because YouTube will recommend similar video titles to people that have watched my videos. So his video will pop up, which makes him get more subscribers. And he's been doing it for quite some time, which, you know, it's YouTube. I don't really care about it, but then to throw shade at me just kind of came off kind of tacky on his part. So my car, I guess we'll see who's done first. Until it's done, it's not built. So, you know, I have quite a ways to go. Really not too far of a ways to go to have the body done, but I have some parts to wait on. So if I didn't have to wait on the parts, I'd most likely already have all the wide body core panels and inner structure on the car, and most likely it'd be in primer. But, you know, that being said, once I do get the parts, we'll have that stuff done, and I guess we'll see what they look like. I mean, you guys will decide which one looks better. I mean, I'm gonna like whatever I build because I built it, obviously, but it just goes to the internet, I guess, to decide whose is more, you know, whose looks better, I guess. But yeah, it's just cars. I mean, nobody's really done anything first. There's so many people out there, especially old dudes. Old dudes literally will build crazy stuff, have it in their garage, and never take it out. And then they'll take it out once, and people will be like, "Damn, look at that car!" And it's been built for like 20 years. But I've never claimed to build anything first. But you know, my video titles kind of are. You know, I try to keep them pretty, you know, honest. I don't try to clickbait that much unless it's like something that, you know, is just dumb. I mean, some people know my dumb videos, and they've been watching my channel for so long they know which ones are which. But some people get mad about them. So I guess we'll see. Whoever's Magnum is better. It's you know, it's a race now, I guess. Hello, cat. I'll just so the Charger emblem could just be like an angry Hello Kitty. Congratulations, Dave. Great channel. Sid, thanks. Shout out from Laredo, Texas. Question: have you ever thought about doing retro mod 40s or 50s car? So I have been thinking about doing a truck for quite some time, but I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. I also need to help my dad go pick up a bunch of cars from my grandfather in Oklahoma, which I really don't know where I'm going to put those, but there's some older cars, and I might end up doing something with one of those. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's just the Charger is really taking up a lot of time. Right now I'm kind of in that stagnant spot from Dodge again, where I'm waiting for parts. Really, I'm just waiting on one piece of the puzzle, but once that piece comes, I can go pick it up and pretty much bust it out. But yeah, eventually I'll do some, I really like resto mod stuff. Like all my cars, I don't like to keep stuff stock. I really like, you know, making something what it should have been, or what it would have been now, or something like that. Like the Magnum, I put all the new stuff in it. It's a lot better car because of it. The FC, the same thing. I really haven't done much with the FC. It really just runs and drives. I've done a lot of suspension stuff with it. But like the FD, I mean, I'm doing turbo manifold, upgrading that stuff. And the same thing with the 240Z. I'll be redoing all the suspension. I designed a whole new suspension setup for it, so it'll handle a lot better, and it'll be more updated, because the old suspension on those things were hideous and they didn't really adjust much of anything. So greetings from Germany. Really curious to see the Charger Magnum when it's done. Driving a Magnum myself, and it's a real diva. Tight. You have a Magnum in Germany? That's kind of crazy. Someone put a peace sign and a YouTube button. Thanks. Looking for a Magnum SRT8 for my son. What do you think I'll have to spend? It seems like those SRT8s are quite expensive. At the end of the day, it would almost be worth just doing what I did, because it might not be worth as much in the end. I'm not exactly sure, you know, what I could get out of mine, because it's not too nice. It's kind of nice. I mean, if it's painted and everything, I don't know if I could pull more than an original SRT8 Magnum, but it drives a lot better. It has a lot newer technology and stuff like that. So depending on what you which way you want to go, SRT8 Magnums, I've seen a few of them for like $9,000 to like $15,000, depending on the miles and stuff like that and how clean they were. Oh hell yeah, get the Junkyard. I can imagine the stuff you would build. Great idea. The content would be amazing if you owned a Junkyard. Thanks. Which car is the most workful. I guess you mean maybe useful. The car I use the most is my truck. Trucks are always the best thing, especially when you have a lot of project cars, because you have to haul stuff around all the time. And just having a diesel truck is, the best thing, because you can tow cars around. Truck and a trailer, I guess that is, but you can move cars, you can move parts. You don't really have to worry about throwing stuff in your trunk. I could throw an engine in the back of my truck. I could throw, whatever in the bed. So are you going to start doing videos when we actually learn something from you? We actually see you do the actual thing. Hold on, that you did that way, and we learned something instead of you just talking. I mean, some videos, it's kind of difficult sometimes, because the being by myself, being able to film, the process is sometimes it's almost impossible. So like when I'm making the turbo manifold, I'm going through a thought process and trying to fit stuff, and I would have a time lapse that lasted like 36 hours. So at that point, it's not worth doing a time lapse of it, because nobody's going to get the gist out of a time lapse, which at the end of the day, it's almost better for me to talk about how I went through my thought process, instead of just showing a 36-hour time lapse cut down to like 2 minutes. So I don't know, it's just one of those things. It's kind of hard to please everybody, but I try to show as much work as I can. Eventually I'll be able to get a lot more stuff filmed, but I film as much as I can in the current situation that I have. Let's see, glad to hear that people are finding the quality contributors. Congrats. Thanks. Sunday Q&A are the best. I usually watch twice. Once live to read the comments, and after I watch to speed up. Hold on, watch it sped up. The best Sunday entertainment. Hey, what's going on? Can't wait for the next Challenger update. Yeah, I mean, I've just been driving the thing around, just dailing it. Well, not dailing it, but I drive it at least 2 or 3 times a week. Greetings from Argentina. What's going on? Most reliable vehicle you have? Mine has been over 300K. Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. So I would have to say that, I don't know, all my cars are pretty reliable. I'd hop in any of them that are run and drive right now, and pretty much just drive them across the country. The FC, if I had to go to California and I just had the FC, I'd drive it there. If I have my truck, the Hellcat, the Magnum, I mean, what else do I have? Is that all I have? I think that's all I have that runs right now. So yeah, any of those. I mean, any car that I have, I try to keep them as reliable as possible. Let's see. I spent about 12 grand putting a Pro Charger on my Challenger SRT8. Nothing cheap about building a hot rod. Yeah, I know they do get pretty expensive. You could a lot of people, when you try to sell stuff, it's pretty funny, because like my LS that I have in my 240, I don't even know how much money I have in it, but I would say at least I have 10 grand in it. I mean, it's E56, they're worth like 2,500 bucks. The engine itself, I mean, I have headers, I have a fast intake manifold, 1.2 throttle body, I have like a $2,500 clutch. And you see people selling LSs and 240s, and people are flaming them about selling a car for 10 grand. I mean, at the end of the day, if you piece all this stuff together, it's well over that. So it's just funny, just kind of looking through Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, and just it's kind of entertaining, or even the forums that the offers people throw out there, and they have like no idea what it costs to build stuff, especially what it costs to build stuff with legit parts. They figure that, you know, CX Racing is the same quality as, let's say, Sicky or something like that, something expensive for an LS. But just goes to show you what's kind of prevailing on YouTube, all the China stuff, the China turbos and stuff like that, and people pretending that they make the same power and same, you know, the same response as the legit turbochargers and stuff like that. It's just kind of crazy that people are kind of blindly following YouTube channels and kind of like defend them on other people's channels when they're like, oh yeah, well, I could just get this China turbo and it'll make the same power and be way better and stuff like that. So that's another thing I don't like about people on YouTube and channels on YouTube, is just like saying stuff and then people just blindly following it. Let's see. If you had 60K right now to buy a car, new or used, what would you get? 60K to buy a car right now, what would I get? Man, 60K, man, that's a toughie. If I had 60K right now to buy a car, I would buy an R34 GTR, hands down. 60K, if I could get one for 60K, which usually they sell for like, actually, yeah, I couldn't get an R34 GTR for 60K. They're like 150K. 60K. What can I get for 60K? 60K. Man, this is a toughie. I know what I get for 60K. I would buy a Noble M400. That's what I'd buy. Those are 60K and those are fun. And most of the time you can buy like fully built ones that are like 800 horsepower for 60K, or like 55. Go to Muscle Hole one. He's been given a Lamborghini that he can't afford to put together. You hook up with him and maybe you guys can build this thing together. Muscle one he's. I mean, why would you buy a Lamborghini if you couldn't afford the parts for it? Do you still do, hold on, do you still do stuff with Motion Auto TV? Yeah, me and Trevor are still friends. We do stuff here and there. I mean, I've pretty much, I mean, we've been hanging out quite a bit this week, but I mean, I helped him pull the back glass and the quarter windows out of the S14. I mean, I helped build the tranny in the Civic, the dog box tranny in the Civic. I mean, we do hang out. It's just, I mean, a few weeks in a row, we've had like this, they have like this Friday dinner for like $10 a person. We cruised the Mercedes over there with a bunch of people and got some stuff. I mean, we hang out. It's just kind of difficult, you know, doing YouTube. I mean, we both do YouTube and building projects and kind of having time to actually meet up, because I mean, he has a family and stuff like that. So yeah, we are friends. I mean, we still do stuff together. It's not like there's anything going on. It's just, you know, you don't see everything that we do, and we do a lot of stuff. So congratulations, Dave. Ooh, it's Ronnie. What's going on, Ronnie? Upload some videos. Would you ever let someone do an internship with you? I mean, I don't know. It just depends. So the issue with my schedule in an internship is I really don't have a schedule. So it just ends up being that, plus they'd have to live close and stuff like that. So, and I have like, I go a bunch of different places. It's just one of those weird things. So And I don't know how much you'd learn. It's another thing. But let's see. 5555. High fives? Been here since the beginning. Was the first or second sub. Morning Dave from Australia. What is going on? Congrats, dude. Thanks. Good day from Australia. Man, there's a few people in here from Australia. Does not skipping ads help out YouTubers? So yeah, not skipping ads, it actually helps out if that is if you want to help channels and watch ads and stuff like that. It really helps out. I mean, the other option to that is Patreon helps out a lot more, but I really don't ask any of my subscribers to go on my Patreon or anything like that. I just post stuff on there, and if people end up going on there and donating to help that channel, all the better. But watching ads on YouTube is pretty much free for the people that watch the ads, because then I get paid from Google, and it's not like anything's coming out of your pocket, just a little bit of extra time. But at the end of the day, watching them really is only half the part. If you click on them and then purchase something from them, that's where it starts to come in, where you make more money, because then YouTube sees that the ads are actually getting somewhere, so then they put more ads on your channel. So it's a whole huge thing. But at the end of the day, there's so many different variables. It just helps out. Whatever happens. But I appreciate anybody that does just watch the ads to watch them to help the channel. Thanks a lot. I actually saw a Magnum with a 300 front end on the other day at the local exhaust shop and thought of your channel. What do you think of the 300 front end on a Magnum? I think they look pretty cool. There's a guy that he converted a Magnum to, I'm not exactly sure how he did it. I'm pretty sure what he did was he converted a 300C to a Magnum. Ooh, these squirrels are, oh man, they're fighting. You got some squirrel fights going on. Look at this. Look at this. Let's get him. They're like squeaking and stuff. He's like whooping his ass. Come on, get him. Let's see this. Attack squirrels. Look at him. Oh. Man, he was like messing him up too. Oh shit. Oh man, he's coming back. Okay. Yeah, but there's this guy that did I think he converted 300C to a Magnum, but I really liked how it looked. I mean, it had the panoramic moonroof and stuff on it. The only reason I'm not doing a panoramic on mine is because I want my car, it would still be fast, but at the end of the day, I want to keep the weight down, and the panoramic moonroof, even just the normal sunroof, weigh quite a bit. So just a normal hardtop will be a lot lighter, and maybe later on down the road, I could do another one with a panoramic moonroof, and I mean, we'll see. I really do like the panoramic moonroof though. We appreciate your hard work. Thanks, Tony. You should make the other Magnum into a truck like Elko with a monster under the hood. All the Aussies up early today or just up really late? Let's see. Am I banned here or something? I haven't banned anybody. Hi from South Africa. Love your feeds. Thanks, Tommy. Why is a live video because I read most of the comments here. Oh man. Let's see. Well, Dave, have you ever thought of combining old cars with new cars for a build? I pretty much did that with the Magnum, I think. I really haven't done anything super old with new stuff, but that would be the plan with anything that I build, is kind of to update it. Greets from the UK. What's up? James donated $1. Thanks, James. Good day, Dave. Patrick here from New Zealand. Hope you're doing well. I counted my Suzukis yesterday. 14. Man, 14 Suzukis. That's a lot. Let's see. Saw a rear engine Corvette on the road the other day. That's tight. What do I think of this country turning into a communist state? I mean, I don't know. I just live my life. If stuff deteriorates, then I'll just kind of worry about it at the time. But it's just too much. You don't see everything, and there's no real way to do anything about it. I mean, there's not enough people that would do anything. So until it gets to a point where a breaking point, which if enough people really are out of work, if as many people they say they are out of work, then we might be in a bigger issue than the government thinks right now. So I guess we'll see in the next coming months. But you know, this whole virus thing, I think to me it was pretty much a big scam. But I know a lot of people took it pretty serious, even though the numbers weren't there. I'm a numbers guy. I mean, if the numbers are there, they're there. If they're not, they're not. And I never saw the numbers that matched up with a pandemic. But that being said, you know, we'll see what happens. I mean, you can't predict the future, but you could definitely react to scenarios that, you know, present themselves, I guess. Had a guy offer me $1,000 for a drag car once. I lost it laughing. The rear rims alone cost more than that. Dave, have you worked on Peterbilt trucks before? I have not ever worked on a semi before. Oh man, that seal is kind of deteriorating. Got all over my finger. Let's see. Congratulations. Thanks. Regards from Staten Island, New York. Hey Dave from Las Vegas. Mood 76. Came for the car, stayed for the squirrel. Should have stayed for the squirrel fights. We could get some bets. Paint one of their tails like a blue. Put a hot pocket or something out there. We get some squirrel fights going on. Cut the top off one. 300 clip goes right on a Magnum, vice versa. Whew. All right, well, and those clouds don't look too good, and I don't want the FC to get hailed on. So, convertibles suck. Oh man. So the weather kind of looks like it's getting bad, and I drove the FC, and I don't want it to get hailed on. So, yeah, I'm gonna probably end the live stream here so I could drive home, because if I leave this spot, it seems like the connection just gets super crappy. But thanks for watching the live stream. Thanks for watching the channel. Everybody that has subscribed to my channel, thank you for subscribing. Hopefully we have more projects to come, and I could do so much better stuff later in the future as the channel grows. I will just, you know, try to put, you know, more and more effort into the channel, and the more the channel gives back and the more subscribers actually subscribe to the channel, I can get more out of YouTube and put more into the projects and etc. So thank you guys, appreciate it a lot. Thanks for watching the Sunday live Q&As, and as always, see you guys next time and next Sunday.